Listen, man, I know I be triggering a lot of people when I talk about the Cowboys and Dak Prescott specifically. Listen, I'm a big time Cowboy fan. I'm a diehard person, but I gotta be honest. You know, talking about I'm a Cowboys fan. I'm not a players first fan. I'm a Cowboys fan. So not saying that I hate people, but like if a player's not playing up to the standard that I want him to play, like I'll be over it really, really fast. I'll be over it really, really fast. But sometimes people go too far in their criticisms and the things they say, and sometimes they have a valid reason. You know what I'm saying? I can't. Listen, all I'm gonna say right here is
route running.
It's bad.
It's a mess.
Man.
Bro, get Cam Newton out here with all this barking. Like they done gave the wrong man a mic.
Dog.
Some dog. I only see one of them.
Sounded like Martin Lawrence.
No.
We playing,
Listen.
All that unnecessary, boy. Like Cam Newton, you doing too.
That's what we need in Dallas.
Right.
Dog. Some dog. I only see one.
See, everybody don't need no mic. And some people gonna say I'm just hating. You know, it's just like when I talk about that, they be like, you just hating. Some people gonna say, get Cam Newton off here with all this boy. We ain't asked for that. We ain't asked for that, Cam. You trying too hard. You done made it, my boy.
We're gonna put more pressure
Well,
on us.
it's interesting that you bring that up. I really, really appreciate that lob.
Well, I'm trying to stop it.
Y'all both just threw at me.
The black
because,
guy.
I mean, you got Cam. Right?
That's a poodle.
You didn't sit up there and say Dak Prescott.
Now
He's
listen.
a puppy in your analogy. Somebody got to say it.
Somebody.
We gonna say it. $60 million man, highest paid quarterback in the NFL, 8 years, 2 playoff victories. Last time I checked, you gotta win at least 3 playoff games to go to win the Super Bowl. I mean, says all the most beautiful things. This is why when we talk about the Tom Brady's of the world, when we talk about the Peyton Mannings of the world, hell, even Aaron Rodgers in his best days, whatever.
Yeah.
Attitude. What do I mean by the attitude? There's a level of accountability. He's going to toe the line. He's going to be the ultimate polished individual. And when you talk about they need some dogs, well, you know where it starts? With the cat that's getting paid that ain't concerned about how you feel about him.
Yeah.
He's concerned about what you do for him and the team. That's not Dak Prescott. And that is the problem. Other than Jerry, because he's
Listen,
ultimately
what
the
Stephen A.
most
said, I gotta agree. And even with Boy Scott, like I don't too much like Boy Scott, but even with Boy Scott, like I gotta agree. Like this is my thing. Listen, this is my thing with Dak. I'll be aside. This is one of my things, and we saw this with Romo later in his career. Now, Trakeman touched on a lot of things the other day. Trakeman had a lot of stuff to say. He made a lot of good points, you know what I'm saying, about the receivers running lazy routes. And it all goes back to one thing with me, really. It's coaching. They don't respect the coaches. If you don't respect the coaches, then you don't believe in the talent. You don't believe in yourself. You don't believe in the plays. And then you don't believe in your quarterback. And not just saying they don't believe in Dak per se. But if things are not running right, they don't think Dak can lift them up. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the way I'm taking it. But where I'm going when I say this, one of the things that Romo started doing later in his career is, early in his career, you saw Romo really kind of give it up. You know what I'm saying? Like, I got a lot of older players than me. A lot of these guys are high draft picks. I'm not going to really speak my mind or say too much because, you know, I'm giving them, they the leaders. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to step back. But when he got older, you know, you saw Romo chewing. Listen, Dez run the wrong route. The Romo was going to jump Dez butt. You know what I'm saying? Like, Troy chewed out everybody. Listen, you watch those old NFL clips, and Troy was going in on everybody on the team. But not really Emmett. But everybody else, Trakeman was digging in them. From the coaches to Mike on down. Troy was going to get on them. You know what I'm saying? So, what I'm saying is with Dak, like, we don't get to see behind the scenes. So, I don't know what Dak say behind the scenes. I just know on the field, Dak get frustrated. Dak could get quiet. You see CD say something, and Dak just sat down. Nigga, chew somebody out. Cuss somebody out. Cuss somebody out. That's what I be saying. If it ain't your fault, if the line ain't blocking for you, if the receiver's not running the right routes, if the running back not hitting the right holes or picking up the right, cuss somebody out. Let me see more passion than I see when you get out there and you celebrating a touchdown or a throw or you jumping. No. Let me see you get pissed off. I want to see how bad you want it. I don't want to see you looking lost and aloof in the playoffs. And they right. I forgot who said, I don't know if it's them or if I was watching Rex Ryan the other day talking about how the defense with Dan Quinn gave up all those points for Green Bay last year. But like, I got a partner, you know what I'm saying? Me and him had this conversation all the time. I say, bro, we lost to San Francisco. San Francisco scored like 19 points the first time they beat us in the playoffs and 21 points. Your offense should score enough points. I'm not saying they always will because, you know, there's both sides of the ball. One's trying to score and one's trying to stop you. They have a job to do. But usually if your defense hold a team to 19, 20 points, it's your offense job to win that game, usually. So I know there's a lot of other variables that go in it, and Dak ain't Superman and that ain't all on his back. But in some of those situations, I always tell people, like, you can get in a shootout. You do have the opportunity to score too. You know what I'm saying? Now, I know if everything is not flowing well, if the line is not exactly blocking right, the receivers, like I said, ain't running great routes to run. It's a lot that go into it. But the offense do have the right to score back. So when everybody be like, the defense, yeah, the defense matters. The defense, it sucks that the defense is getting blown off the line and can't stop the run. But when your quarterback is throwing pick sixes or fumbling or throwing it, that means that those 40 points that other team scored might have really only been like 21 or 24. But your offense gave up another 14 to 21 points. You know what I'm saying? Because you done had like 2-3 turnovers every week for the past few weeks. Like, it's more that goes into that. But I'm not just jumping on Dak like this. I know some people going to hear it and all they're going to hear is, oh, you talking about that. Because that's how y'all do. What I'm trying to say is like hey, man, hey, if it means something to you for real, let people know how you feel when you passionate. Listen, it's about disrespect. Like, nigga, do you love me? Because you missing these blocks. You ain't out here trying. You leaving me out here to dry. When people complain, you don't talk about the defense. Let me tell you, when the quarterback wins at the end of his career or the end of the season, part of his record says wins and losses. No other position on the field has that on the side of them. When you see a running back stats, wins and losses are not placed in his stats. It's only placed with the quarterback and the coach. And I have to go back to the coaches because I feel like these players don't respect the coaches. I'm looking at it, you know, okay, the line got injuries and things like that, and I see that. And you got young players that you decide to draft and let other players go and brought in these young players and they struggling, they trying to mesh. But who's the O-line coach? Like, I need to go back and look that up because you didn't do a good job at all. And the receiver coach, if all the receivers are running lazy routes and they not where they need to be, listen, the receiving room don't have a lot of talent anyway. You keep trying to force Toby to be somebody. Brooks, you keep telling me about what he doing at train. I'm not going to put a lot on Cooks because I think part of the issue with Cooks is Dak is not really a great deep ball thrower. He's not a player that just really looks for some of those throws. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think Cooks is really getting the right routes for him and the right opportunities. I think Dak throws his best deep balls to guys who can go up there and jump and get it. Like Gallup before he tore his legs up. Like, I just don't think Cooks fit that role. Like, Dak needs somebody who can, with some size, and can separate like Amari Cooper was. You know what I'm saying? Like, this a lot of this is on Jerry. You know, Jerry did all that jumping down people. Listen, you the owner of the team. You shouldn't be doing interviews in the first place every week. But you the owner and the general manager. You are the person they need to ask about the decisions that you made. Now, listen, if we going to have this conversation, we need to, who are you trying to sabotage? Were you trying to sabotage McCarthy this offseason because you want to have a good excuse to move on from him next year? That's the way I feel.